today's video is basically going to be a lock Q&A video. So I'm just going to be answering some questions that I've gotten over the years and some questions that, I've looked up myself over these past 4 years. I'm going to answer these questions in no particular order, so I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in. And if I look right here, that's what my questions are. So first question is, why did I decide to lock my hair? So that's a pretty straightforward answer. I just love the way locks look. I've seen women with long, beautiful locks, and I'm like, dang, I want long, beautiful hair. So, and once I got to my relax, I went natural. So I was natural for about 1.5 years. And throughout that 1.5 years, it was constant detangling, braid outs, twisting that night, braiding that night, putting the bonnet on, being too nice. And I just got to the point where, like, this is very tiresome. Girl, if you want them locks, now is the time, now or never. So I started my hair on October 11th, 2012, 10, 11, 12. I let my best friend, she's a hairstylist, I let her braid my hair. I let her go ahead and start my locks. So the method we used were comb coils. And, I've never looked back since. Alright, so on to the second question. So if I have newer locks, how can I reduce frizz and shrinkage? Okay? So baby locks, they go through their unruly phase where it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. They don't want to behave. They don't want to be still. They're fuzzing up. They're shrinking everywhere. They're, just kind of just doing their own thing. And, my advice to that is, that's baby locks. That's kind of what they do. There's a process that they have to go through. And at some point in time, they're going to be frizzy. They're going to have shrinkage. They're going to have a lot of shrinkage. Actually, you're going to have frizz everywhere. It's going to be shrinkage. You're going to have, it's going to look weird, kind of lumpy. But it's called, it's that phase of your locks is the budding phase. So that's when they go from just little comb coils to actually becoming, full, actually locks. So, the hair that you're shedding is actually going inside the comb coils and kind of making them frizz out a little bit. The only thing I could say to combat that is whenever you do retwist your hair or wet your hair, just kind of roll your locks through your hand. So let's say it's my baby lock. I just washed my hair and it's frizzing everywhere. I just kind of roll it through my hand. It'll kind of, as long as it's wet, it will go ahead and push those loose hairs into the lock. So to help it kind of roll up a little better, it can help combat that frizz a little bit. As far as the shrinkage, that's pretty much going to happen. I decided, I was like, I'm going to wait 1.5 years, then I'll get my locks so I can have long hair. It doesn't actually work like that. I had 1.5 years worth of locks. When I got my baby locks, they were like this long. Then they shrunk like this long. Then this long. And then they started to get longer. So it's just kind of part of the process there. Alright, third question. At what point is it okay to dye the ends of my locks? So, a lot of people, as soon as you get locks, it's like, I want to dye my hair, I want to do this, I want to dye the ends. And I say, what better time than now? I procrastinated with dyeing my hair. I finally did it. And as far as if you have baby locks, that might be the best time to do it because that hair isn't as dense. So with full grown locks, it's hair inside of hair inside of hair. So it makes it a little more difficult for the dye to take because it's kind of just soaking up like a sponge. So if you have baby locks and you want to dye your ends, now might be the best time because, it's not fully grown locks. It's just kind of hair on the comb coil. So I would say if you want to dye your hair and you got baby locks, go for it now. If you want to dye your hair and you have mature locks, go for it. Alright, on to the next. Alright, number 4. How long have I had my locks? So I've had my locks, like I said, since October 11th, 2012. So that would be about 4 years and maybe 2, December, January. So about 4 years and 3 months. Pretty much already gave me the backstory on that. So I've had them 4 years and 3 months. And as you can see, they're progressing pretty well. I will do another video and I'll show a link check and all that so you can kind of see, where I'm at right now. And I want to do a lock journey video so you can see, where I've been over the years, how I've progressed over these last 4 years. Alright, fifth question. What products do you use? Alright, so I kind of use not a lot of products, but just a lot of different ones at different times, just depending on what my hair is doing. If my hair is really dry, I try to use moisturizing products. If it's dirty, I try to use clarifying products. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you, the most common products that I use. Alright. So this is, can you actually read this? I don't know if you can see it. Alright, so this is, well, it is Perk Plus 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, classic clean for normal hair. I know it's a silly cheap shampoo, but I like 2-in-1 shampoos and conditioners because it cuts out a process. I don't really like to condition my hair a lot because I do have locks and I don't want, detangling conditioner. So I use shampoos and conditioners that are already together so I can go ahead and shampoo and still put a little moisture back in my hair. So I like the Perk Plus 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, and I also use a clarifying conditioner by Garnier Fructis. I actually ran out of it right now, but when I do my full video on my products, I'll definitely have that in there. Another product that I like to use, I use for my deep condition, whenever I deep condition, which is not very often at all, maybe once every 2 to 3 months, is the olive oil, ORS olive oil replenishing conditioner. As you can see, probably can't read that, but whatever. So I use this as a deep conditioner. So what I'll do, it's pretty much like a deep conditioner at your hair. After I shampoo my hair, I'll go ahead and put that, after I shampoo, rinse out, I'll put the conditioner on, put it in the shower cap, leave it on for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, rinse it out, and that's pretty much it. Just done deal there. As far as leave-in conditioners, I use the Cream of Nature Argan Oil from Morocco Strength and Shine leave-in conditioner. Just kind of spray this over my hair, shake it up so everything can get mixed up, and just spray it all over my hair and let it go. I like to use the oil. The oil I use, it's got a lot of hair on that. The oil that I use is the Cream of Nature Argan Oil from Morocco oil treatment. It's kind of expensive because it's for it to be a little bottle, but it really works. It's really good. I like it. I use it all the time. I use this every time I wash my hair. Wash my hair, whether I shampoo it or deep condition it or whatever I'm doing it. Every time I wet my hair, I try to make sure that I'm putting oil back on my hair to kind of keep that moisture locked in. And then if I retwist my hair, I've been using this Carol's Daughter Mimosa Hair Honey. Okay, that doesn't work. Alright, it's Carol's Daughter Mimosa Hair Honey Shine Pomade. I've only used it like twice, so I don't really have any complaints or anything amazing to say about it right now. But I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna do a review on it. And then the other product that I like to retwist my hair with is the Nature's Blessing hair pomade. It's the green one. It's fantastic. I don't have it right now, and I need to order it because it is the GOAT. And that means greatest of all time. It is amazing. It leaves my hair looking shiny. It leaves it soft. It holds the retwist really good. It's made of like natural oil, so not anything like petroleum or anything in that. It's an amazing product. If you don't use it, you need to use it. Alright, that's it for my products. Like I said, I'll make a video and I'll go deeper into the wash process and all the products that I use and at the different times that I use them. Next question is, to dye or not to dye my hair? Well, I've dyed my hair a couple times. I never dyed it when it was relaxed or natural, but when I got locks, I'm just like, I'm itchy to do something different with my hair. Because I can't do, a lot of different, you can do different styles, but after a while, you get to a point and you're just like, what can I do? So I dye my hair maybe 5, 6 times. I use box dye every time. I don't know if that was the best decision. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure if that was the best decision or not, but it satisfied what I wanted to do at that point in time. As far as I can say, to dye or not to dye, it took definitely weigh the pros and cons. I dyed my hair and I loved it. I loved the color. One thing I didn't love though was it made my hair really, really dry. So if you're gonna dye your hair, I do recommend you get that deep conditioning. You get a conditioner, leave-in conditioner, oils. Just make sure that you're continuously putting back that moisture into your hair. If you're anything like me, you get a little tired, you get a little lazy sometimes. So sometimes I wouldn't do it, and I could definitely tell, after I dyed my hair, that it definitely needs that moisture back in. I would say if you want to dye your hair, dye your hair. It's your hair, dye it. What I wouldn't suggest is bleaching your hair, because that is really harsh. I know people who bleach their hair and they've had damage. So I wouldn't suggest to bleach it, but to find different alternatives to get that color that you want. I tried like rinses. It really doesn't show up much. So I tried, semi-permanent. It's okay. Eventually, I just ended up going to permanent dyes. But like I said, I never bleached my hair because I'm terrified of the damage that would happen if I bleached my hair. I've only dyed it maybe like reds and browns and burgundy colors. Like I said, do some more research on it, and at the end of the day, it's your hair. If you want to dye your hair because, live to your heart's desire. Alright, next question. What is your go-to hairstyle? So, this would probably be my go-to hairstyle. These are curls that I've done with flexi rods. Another go-to hairstyle I do is 2-strand twist, and then the almighty ponytail. When in doubt, ponytail it out. These three hairstyles I kind of keep in rotation. I do the 2-strand twist a lot after I retwist my hair. I usually retwist and do 2-strand twists instead of just like clipping. Because one, I'm not really good at the clip. And two, I like to have my hair a little crinkly or wavy or something. I'm really like just straight hair. I'll definitely do tutorials on all three of those styles so that you can see, well, not the ponytail, on the two styles, so that you can see what process I do to get those hairstyles and what they look like. What do you retwist your hair with? Alright, like I said, I use the Carazana Mimosa Hair Honey right now, and what I love to use is the Nature's Blessing Hair Pomade, I believe it's called. I'll post them. I'll try to put links into all the to that product so you can order it online, because I can't find it in the store, so I have to order it online, and that's pretty much what's taking me forever to get. How often do you wash and retwist? I probably wash and retwist my hair, maybe I'd say once a month, once every 5 weeks or so. Sometimes I wash more frequently and just don't retwist, because I'm just not a retwist type girl. I don't really like seeing my scalp and having my hair flat, so I don't retwist a lot. But I do wash. I would say I probably wash my hair every 2 to 3 weeks and retwist every 4 to 5. Do you let people touch your hair? That is a good question, and the answer is yes and no. So it just depends on who the person is. I let my friends touch my hair. I let some of my family members touch my hair if they're curious. But it also depends on what type of curious. Are they bad curious or good curious? Are they like saying things like, "Oh my God, I love your hair. I want to get locks one day. Your curls are so pretty. Can I touch your hair?" By all means, yes, you can touch my hair. If you're looking to get locks and you like my hair, you admire it, touch until your heart's desire, until I get tired of you. But if they're saying things like, "Oh, how did you get a job with dreadlocks? Oh, your dreadlocks look like this, and my cousin had dreadlocks and her hair was stinky." No, you cannot touch my hair. I don't need that negative energy feeding, that negative energy staying on me. I don't need that negative energy around me, for one. So yes and no, I let people touch my hair. It just kind of depends on the person, the situation, and what their intentions are, how their spirit is sitting with me. What is it like having locks in a professional work environment? So I do work for the state. So that means I'm pretty much in business casual every day. So, adjusting to going from college and wearing your hair however you want to have it to being in a professional work environment, what I can say is I'm very conscious about how I wear my hair. Because I haven't seen anybody at the office with locks. So what I try to do is make sure that my hair looks, presentable. Doesn't have to always be retwisted, because I don't like retwisting my hair. but I do make sure I at least brush my edges down if they looking crazy. That I at least, attempt to have a hairstyle. If I am gonna just wear my hair down, I kind of pull it back. Maybe not in a ponytail, but kind of just take the sides. Let's see. This little hairstyle. I take the sides, pull it in one of these numbers, and put a little rubber band in the back. Or just kind of try to keep it presentable. Make sure that I look like what my job is. That my boss wouldn't be embarrassed to say, hey, that's my employee. But I'm not going out of my way to twist my hair every day, every week, or anything like that. But I'm just making sure that I look, decent. Would you lock your kids' hair? If so, what age? If not, why? That is a question that I've been torn about for the longest. I love locks. I love kids with locks. But again, locks are not a permanent hairstyle because you can't remove them, but pretty much semi-permanent hairstyle. It's a major change. If I would lock my child's hair, I'd probably lock it early, age 4 or 5. But I haven't decided. That'd be something that me and my husband will have to talk about, have to discuss, and kind of weigh the pros and cons of it. Because I would, what I want to do is raise my children to love their natural hair, whether it be in curls, whether it be in dabs, as you would say, whether it's in locks or fade, however you want to have your hair. I just want you to love everything about you. So if you love your curly puffs and you want to wear your puffs till you're 35, then so be it, we'll wear puffs. But if my child, willingly asks me, hey mama, I want locks like you, I want hair like you, then yeah, we would do it. And then the last question is, what's the wash process like? So a wash process can be a little lengthy just because I need to make sure I have ample amount of time for my hair to dry. So, mainly what I do is just wash, condition sometimes. Depends on what the day is. Sometimes I deep condition, sometimes I do hot oil treatments. And let's see. And then depends on if I retwist or not. I usually like to wash, condition, put a little leave-in conditioner on it, and then do the 2-strand twist. Or I'll wash, condition, and curl. So it can just be a little bit different. But what I want to do is I want to make a wash process video so that you can see from the shampoo to the oil and to the deep condition. You can see the entire process and see, what I do, what products I use, how I like to wash my hair, and how I've maintained my hair over these past couple years. Alright, so that basically sums up all the questions that I've gotten. If you have any more questions for me, definitely feel free. Leave a comment, leave the questions, hit me up, let me know. I'm gonna link all my social media down here below, and I'm gonna also link the music that I'm using. From a good friend of mine, college friend, so I'm gonna link that music in there. Definitely check out his website. If you have any requests for different videos, comment those below, and just stay tuned for more great videos. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.